Hi, this is Becky from More Than Borderline, and today I'm going to talk about bullying. My psychiatric symptoms manifested when I was in middle school, and as you can guess, this made me extremely emotionally volatile, which, as you can imagine, made me an open target for bullies. People loved to push me around, try to set me off, see if they could make me cry, see if they could make me act in an odd way. And as Roseanne Barr said, newsflash, I do have mental health issues. Decent people refrain from bullying, manipulating, lying to, and hurting people like me. Well, that's not been my experience. And I'm sure it hasn't been your experience either, or your child's experience. So what do you do about it? I believe that all bullying should be reported. Nip it in the bud. It's hard to stand up for yourself, but you gotta do it. But you can also find allies in teachers, principals, and other school staff. I remember an incident with the toughest teacher in the middle school. Somebody had colored my hair in class with a marker while she had stepped out for a minute. Obviously, this really ticked her off, and she was going to punish the whole class, and I was saying, look, it's no big deal, and she said, be quiet. And I knew she meant be quiet. So I was quiet, and eventually the kid who did it confessed. And I've never forgotten that, because it was the first time anybody really stood up for me. Even though I didn't appreciate it at the time, I do now. Another problem of bullying is it doesn't always end at school. We hear nowadays of cyberbullying, which is bullying on the internet. In my day, all you had to do was make a harassing phone call to the place, but nowadays they can track it. And cyberbullying also leaves a trail. So follow that trail, find out who's doing it, and nail them. You shouldn't have to suffer twice over because of your mental health symptoms. It's bad enough to suffer from psych symptoms, but to suffer from bullying and mental health and people trying to set off your psych symptoms, nobody should have to suffer from that. It's like making fun of someone in a wheelchair. And I just can't urge you enough to try and speak up for yourself or seek help from an adult, because there are adults out there who care. And if nothing else, I have discovered that bad publicity makes people do the right thing like nothing else will. Threaten to go public with it if all else fails. You've got to find a way to treat your symptoms and get better. And sometimes that involves confronting bullies. Really, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and your experiences with bullying and how you managed to deal with it. I switched schools because it was so bad, but that's another story. Anyway, those are my thoughts on bullying and mental illness. And this is Becky Oberg from More Than Borderline, signing off.